So today we're gonna work on getting NGINX as a web server installed and also to secure it for fail2ban so that somebody who's trying to do a brute force attack can't get into the web server and can do any damages to it. As you can see, here are my installation notes already. So let's dive right into it. We are on the web server again, and we can see what is right now going on with the SSH. Nobody tried to access it right now, and nobody tries to gain full access. So first things first, we're going to install NGINX, and all these notes are being attached to the video description. So what you see in my text file is going to be posted. So NGINX is already now installed. So ps-e, when you look through it, there should be already a couple of things running. The fail2 and the NGINX is running. So if you now look at UFW status numbered, you see that right now we can't access any of the web server. So if we take the IP address here, for example, and we take a new tab over here and we try to access this with any of the IP addresses, it will time out and nothing will work. And that is part of that what is default when you have the firewall on. So what you can do now is UFW enable, and then you can say 80, or you can say HTTP, which is easier. Sorry, not enable, allow. Now HTTP is in, and you can also do HTTPS if you have a certificate for it. Then you do that as well. As soon as you have that done, you go back and you look at it. Now you have port 80 and 443 already predefined on IP version 4 and IP version 6, which means when you now try to refresh it, it should give us something of some sort of information. It gives us an HTTPS. We don't want that because there's nothing running on it. So there it is. We are now on NGINX. We have the first page, the welcome page there. Later on, we're going to do a couple more installations to it in the next couple of videos. So let's jump into it and let's say, okay, the fail2ban configuration so that we have a little bit of a securement in place. So this is the main NGINX configuration, and I would suggest you put it somewhere right after the SSL section as general. You can fine-tune it further down, and you can do it per vhost, even configuration, additional configurations, especially if we go later on and installing WordPress here in one scenario. Then I would recommend that you actually go also into the vhost configuration and do that. Later on, when we get down to WordPress installation, I actually will show and demo that as well. Now we have that correctly installed. So NGINX-T tests if the configuration and syntax is okay. So if it is okay, then you can say servers NGINX restart, and you restarted it already. And that part of the configuration is already done. So now we need to go over, as you can see, we already have a fail2ban installed from the prior, but if you want to install it just now, and you come for the first time into this video, then this would be the time where you install the fail2ban. We already have it. So what we do now is we grab this line and we just go in here, copy paste it, brand new config. We go back, we just take this snippet as it is and drop over, copy it in. So what it is, it does do a limitation per access per zone per client, and so that is a predefinition which is required so that actually your fail2ban will work. So now we do the second part, which is exactly the jail local configuration. And here we are already in it. And now we get the additional configuration for it for the NGINX part, which is here. And we just copy it in. As you can see, we don't need a space there. So again, we do an enable. We say for what it is actually the NGINX we request limitation. Then we have an IP tables for multiport, meaning we handle here HTTP, HTTPS, as you can see, for protocol TCP, TCP only. And we're gonna log into the log path, which is the error log. So if you have a customization for that, please adjust accordingly so that it knows where to check. Find time again, like before, 600. Ban time in this case, we have 7200. Let's say we want to have it for 1800 as well. And max retry, we want to have it set down also to 5. Now we have that set, put it in motion, save it. And as we have now it's saved, now we can also restart the fail2ban process, which is here. Now we have it done, and now we can check if it is actually there. So there it is. Nothing is right now bothering. Nothing is in jail. Nobody is trying to hack us or anything. But note for yourself, if you don't know what fail2ban configuration you have already enabled, you can just say fail2ban-client space status and then press enter. Then it will tell you that you actually have pre-configured already 2 jail lists. And so there's your jail list. And so if you now take this, copy it back in, you want to see first the SSH, there you can get your SSH, and then you say, okay, I want the other one. Let me highlight this one. And there's your other one. So with that, you can always regain quickly overview what's really going on and actually secure your environment proper and know if it is working properly. So that's it for this little video. The next one, we're gonna actually start installing the WordPress with its latest. We're also gonna get MariaDB installed, which is the open source MySQL database variation of it, so that we can set up WordPress so that we get to the state that we can actually start seeing some progress in the server setup and also how security actually works, because right now nothing really is being triggered. But once you expose your server, which we have now start doing with 422.80 and 443, then sooner or later people will start scanning your server and trying to gain access to it. Again, right now everything is clean, no alert, no nothing, so you're good. But as soon people trying to gain access to it, and that happens 90% of the time as soon you have a WordPress up and running, because WordPress has a lot of security issues going on, and there's a lot of people and a lot of websites which do not update, and so you have a lot of vulnerabilities out there. And so as soon they see you have a WordPress installed, they're trying to gain access to it. Most of the time through the RPC process. I'll show details about it, how to secure that as well. But that's it for today. Have fun. Talk to you on the next slide.